Good evening, folks, and welcome back to the Celtic Unrestricted View. It's myself, JP, and joining me on this fine Wednesday, hump day as they call it. Ryan loves that word. These 10:30 shows full of that nonsense at 10:30 at night. My two good men, Mr. Ryan Clifford and Alan Stirling. Well, lads, it's Wednesday night. It's the night after another Champions League night for Celtic and the boys. Ryan, I'll come to you first, mate. Hope you're well, wee man. It's good to see Shawnee boy was up his early Christmas bag again for you, wee hoodie. Good to see you, mate.
Aye, all good. Wee Sean's starting to ramp up his Christmas deliveries now, so
Brilliant,
all the hoodies should be with you just shortly, because by the end of January it could be minus more than just what we've got there now, so him and they wrap up. But I am good. Obviously we'll deal into the result on the performance and everything else for last night, but in terms of overall, it is a positive in terms of not losing the game and what we normally do away from home. I know we didn't against Atlanta, but yeah, overall, we're still in the mix to qualify. So a victory would basically guarantee at Young Boys. So all in all, it's still okay. And then we've got a massive game on Sunday to look forward to, which we'll maybe touch on a bit, and then obviously we've got a lot to touch on in the week. So all good. We hope you're well as well, and I would get it heat on because it's definitely minus in Glasgow tonight.
100%. And we've got Big Roger Hanna joining us also all the way for Beat the Pundit. How are you, big fella?
Very well. Hope you guys are well. Hope everybody that's watching is very well. Aye, we'll get into last night with a bit. I think I've just woke up after that Snowfest I watched last night. That's 90 minutes. I will get back. But as Ryan says, overall in this campaign it is very positive for us to accumulate that many points and to go kind of 4 games unbeaten in the Champions League, which is quite a record for us in the last few decades. So I'm trying to be as positive as I can, but after watching that last night, it is difficult, but I'm trying my very, very best, lads.
Yeah, we've got some comments coming in early doors. And Jem first in, evening JP, Alan, and the chat. Matt McDonald, Tail Hill, everyone. Jerry Burns, evening JP, Ryan and Al, and everyone on the pod. And G-Doc's in as well, evening all. One I've not seen before. Could it be a new person? A little gamer, evening troops. Hope you're well, pal. Good to see you. Jerry Burns says, I think we had a chance to win that game, but then I suppose a point is not too bad. That's it, folks. Let us know your thoughts on the game. Let us know what you thought in the comments, and we'll have a wee chat about it as we go. Big Barry McCannis, evening boys, 4 home games in the Champions League undefeated. Back-to-back clean sheets away from home. 1-1 away from qualifying. Hail, hail. There is always a positive spin somewhere in that. Can it be?
1 draw away for qualifying, actually.
Yeah, I think we only need a point.
A point basically cements it.
Francis Lester joining us tonight also. He said the result was positive, performance was poor. That's it, folks. Let us know your comments. Let us know what you think. We'll have a wee chat about it. Ryan, I'm just going to come right out with it and say, it's a missed opportunity for me. But I'm not one of the ones. I saw a lot today in terms of Celtic fans and flicking through social media in various parts. I'm not one of the ones that's going to get too bogged down in it, mate. And, you know, the good outweighs the bad in this season for us so far, for me, personally. You look at the Champions League as a whole. We've played 6 games, mate. We've not lost. We've only lost 1 game, sorry. We've not lost heavily the way we normally do. Excuse me. We have also, as Barry says, 4 games at Celtic Park. We're undefeated. And we are also back-to-back away games now. We haven't even lost a goal. So, you know, you can try and sum it up as much as you can, but for me, we've made positive steps. And no doubt, mate, the change of format has definitely helped teams like ourselves. Because we have had, you know, we've had a lot of poor results, and especially with our away record in the Champions League prior to this season has been totally abysmal. And obviously, going into this season, we were all, you know, optimistic with a draw. And for me, mate, I don't know. My take is I don't think Celtic have let us down, mate.
No, in the grand scheme of things overall, in terms of the campaign and the format's definitely helped us, there's no doubt about that. Because it's 1.5 games, it's basically like cup finals every game, so you kind of need to get points. It's different when it's home and away. You can maybe get 2 points away from home, but as long as you win your home games and you get 6 points, you could qualify. So overall, it's positive in terms of keep my clean sheet, get a point away in Europe. But for me, it's a massive, massive missed opportunity. I don't think we've won away in the Champions League in 7 years. I think the last game was Anderlecht, I think 3-0, I think we won. Is that correct? And I'm being honest, I totally get the Zagreb team at full Bifta would have been a harder game, and if we go up, I'd have been happy with a point before the game. I'm still happy-ish. I'm still happy-ish with a point because it's a point, clean sheet. Like you say, normally we don't really do well in Europe. I know we've done well in Atlanta, but apart from that, 9 times out of 10, even with teams in the past like Alberg and Mulder and the Europa League, we've been beat convincingly, and so we've got to take that positives, mate, in terms of we've not been beat. But for me, I was really frustrated that the manager kind of said it spot on that we lacked a lot of final quality in the final third. The movement, now we all know how good Kyogo was movement wise, but Maeda, Kuhn, Kyogo, the movement, it was like they were hiding. There was no movement whatsoever. The middle of the park, Rio Hatate, I think the rest said about him for yesterday. I don't want to sit here and criticise him too heavily, but the rest said about him, his performance yesterday, the better. I thought Greg Taylor was poor as well. I don't want to go through individuals, but I just think I was frustrated. I don't know what you feel, JP, but I was just frustrated that it was a missed opportunity. And I thought for what I seen for him in the first 5 minutes, I thought, right, I'm going to be canned here. They were dog meat. They were dog meat last night. Let's be honest, be real here. They weren't great. That was an unbelievable opportunity to go and get a win in the Champions League, and we didn't go and take the game to them. We didn't have any intent. We had one shot on target. I can understand if that's Barcelona and it's backs against the wall and we need to, if we get one chance, we need to take it. But I listened to a wee bit of Solar Scoreboard before we came home, and I think it was Ross McCormack or Simon Donnelly. One of them said they can understand the first half because you need to source them out to see how they are. So you know after the 15 minutes of the second half, you know what they're like. But we didn't come out and even try. And obviously they tried, but there was no intent, it was slow, it was just, but I'm not wanting to sound negative because it was a positive, but I was just frustrated that we didn't go and implement what we know we can do and go win the game, because I don't know if we'll get a better chance of beating a team as poor as that away from home.
Yeah, obviously the opposition last night, Alan, they do change the team significantly due to injury crisis and everything else, so they had no option, they had to change. That says it was a missed opportunity for us. In my opinion, we lacked any real creativity in the final third. I think that was our main issue last night. Some of our football was okay, and actually the way we played the game and like not to lose the game and not put ourselves in a lot of moments where we had chances to potentially lose the game. I think they only that one header and Gasper tipped it over the bar. My memory serves me right. Out with that, they done very little. But in saying that, on the flip side of that, Alan, they also set up in a way to be very dogged. And for me, mate, that was a big compliment to Celtic, because no many teams will set up like that against us in the Champions League, especially away from home.
Yeah, no, you're right in certain aspects there. I'm trying to be as positive as I possibly can, but they had so many injuries. I kind of agree with Ryan. That team was very, very poor. And I think we kind of let that game kind of slip by us. It just kind of went without not much happening. That whole 90 minutes was nothing to kind of write home about. We lacked kind of any intensity. We lacked any kind of cutting edge whatsoever. It's a massive, massive opportunity kind of missed, because that was an away game. When you take that game in isolation, before that, I thought, aye, a point would be a good result. But when you actually watch that game and how poor they were, that's a game Celtic should have been winning comfortably for me. But we didn't look as if we had any intensity at all. We didn't look as if we wanted it, to be fair. I'm struggling to see any players in the first 11 or the subs that kind of had kind of massive pass marks to. As I say, that's only the game in isolation. Try to be more positive when you look at it. The amount of points we've accumulated in the new format of the Champions League. Obviously, it's been very kind to us with the draw we got, but we've still done really well with some of the results we've got. So, as I said to you lads before, we've given this team a lot of praise, but for me last night, I think there's a bit of criticism that needs to be given out to the players as well, because for me that it's a massive opportunity we've missed, because I think that team were there for the taking all day long. Ryan used the kind of superlative as dog meat. I don't know if I'd explain it that way, but they were a very poor side, and I think it's a side that we 9 times out of 10 we would push aside with a few goals, kind of easy peasy. I think we are far better than that. It just so happened last night that none of the team, none of the players kind of turned up to the capacity that we know we're capable of.
Yeah, obviously I think Ryan's a wee bit angry because he still had that mob to beat us 5-0. He's still, his prediction's going to stand until it actually happens, and he's been raging the last 2 games away from home now. They've Celtic have not conceded a goal, and the wee man's raging about it.
But no, listen, it's in the grand scheme of things, it's a good result, because before I knew they had a lot of injuries, if we drew with the first 11 and there was and I didn't know they had injuries, I thought, you know what, good result, positive result, because I've said to you beforehand, even weeks ago, I did say it's a hard place to go and win or get anything.
Yeah.
But that was me knowing that they had their full team. They didn't have I think the stadium was half empty as well, so even their fans didn't even bother turning up. So it shows you what they expected. I know
The thing is as well, I've since learnt today that stand was totally empty. It was done because, actually, I watched a thing with Peter Schmeichel on it for last night. It was on early before the football, and I seen it back today on YouTube. And basically, the history behind that is 4 years ago, there was a mini earthquake in Croatia, and apparently the stand is unsteady, so they can't have fans in it. But it's took so long, and they've not even done anything about it. And that's supposed to be the national stadium. That's what Peter Schmeichel was saying. He said it's an absolute shambles that they're playing football still in this stadium, and there's no work. That's 4 years that have went by now, and there's no work being done even in that to rectify that problem.
That's pretty poor in that sense. It should be fixed, but especially for health and safety, because anything could happen while football's going on. But in terms of positivity, for me, the only positive, I know Carter Vickers at man of the match, but I thought Bernardo was great. I thought Bernardo was a standout. He was trying things. He was tricky. He was tidy. He was trying to go forward with it. But one thing I want to touch on again, I don't talk for the fan base. I'm only trying to just maybe ask some of the fan base to maybe why we try to be critical. It's like we're trying to find things to be critical at Engels because he's price tag, and it's starting to annoy me, because why are fans no question Hatate? Why are they no question McGregor? Why are they no saying about Taylor or other players? It just seems to be right now it's about Engels because he's £11 million. When he came on the park, if he just scores that goal, he's getting lauded as what a signing. He's goals are winning in Europe. So the guy done okay when he came on. He made 1 or 2 missed passes, but the full team did. Not just Engels. It just
he's ball through for. It was just unlucky that the big defender managed to get a leg on it, because his ball that was a goal.
If he scores that, is what a ball that was! What a play he was!
Yeah.
So I just try. I can only speak for myself, but I'm just trying to say to the fellow fan base. I know the fee we paid. It's no Engels' fault. Same as Ida. It's not his fault that we paid that money from. And sometimes you base on whatever, but Engels is a powerhouse. see the running he does and his recoveries and
Yeah.
all that type of stuff. I get you might not want that as your midfielder, but Engels is not going to be a guy that's going to score you 20 goals a season and give you 25 assists. He was signed for like 100 grand for Augsburg. So I think just because he's price tag, rein back it. Because what happened with Nicholas Kuhn? Majority fan base, Free Morgan, dud, not good enough. And then now he's one of our star men. So I think sometimes it's, I get you can be critical of certain parts of what he's doing, but to start saying that he's not good enough now or he's not worth the money, he's give him a bit of time. See end of the season.
I was right, I know.
See at
That
the
was
end of the
You did
season.
a lot, didn't you?
See at the end of the season, and then maybe a few months into the season next year, and he's not really done much. Then I can go, do you know what? Look, I understand. He's not really hit the heights, or he's maybe not doing well. But for me, I'm just support again. He's coming here for a new country, new culture. He's never played at a club at this size. Champions League for the first time. He's now getting capped for Belgium. Can't be that bad if he's playing with Belgium either.
There is one approach to it, Ryan, as Anne James just pointed out. Just ignore it, Ryan. It's not worth stressing about.
Listen, you can be critical when you need to be critical, right? But I just feel, Ange, that
it's hard to be critical to any side.
If Arne Engels was £3 million, would you really be just saying he's doing okay? It's because you paid that money for him. Now, for me, Adam Ida's done okay, right? He's done all right, but he's not going to get the chance. I'll actually touch on it as we go along because I actually think maybe next season we might need to look at another striker because at Celtic Football Club, we need a striker that's scoring 20 goals a season. And right now, Ida and Kyogo, are they going to get that this season? Do you know what I mean? So that's maybe something to think about in the summer as well, lads.
Yeah, that could be an interesting point, obviously, for later on, Ryan, yeah, in terms of, the strikers. But Alan, obviously, Ryan touches on there about Arne Engels and he's taken a wee bit of battering off the Celtic fans for me. But the last wee while, the man in question, the big question mark above him now, is Rio Ataki's form. Now, I know he's come up with that moment of magic up at Aberdeen. But for me just now, and I spoke to some Celtic fans today, for me just now, the bad with Ataki seems to be outweighing the good because his performance levels just, for whatever reason or another, they're just not there at the moment. And I think he's struggling to play in this Brendan Rodgers' style to pass and move. He can't do it. He's struggling to do it.
I don't know if I agree with that last part. He's struggling to play on that side. He has done it for the last kind of couple of seasons now.
Yeah, but see with Big Angel, and my point would be he's out in the left. He wasn't asked to do more running. He's asked to run more.
Even the last 18 months, Hatate's been an integral part of this side that's been winning. So, yeah, even how much I love him, his form has dipped. But I said to you last week, you don't drop him because you know he's capable of that kind of moment of brilliance. He shows it time and time again. And when you look at the weekend as well, how many times has he showed that kind of brilliance against that team for across the city? It's been numerous times he's done it as well. Do I believe Hatate maybe should take a time out the side? Possibly. But will Brendan, can I take him out the side? I don't think so. If he takes him out the side, obviously with the weekend with McCowan being cup tied, but even with McCowan in there, I think it's either Hatate, Bernardo or Engels. We've spoken about, I fully support Engels. I've said a number of times in the last week that I think it's kind of have a bit of patience, let him adjust, let him adapt to the game, etc. Still a young boy. But for the weekend, I still think Hatate starts. I think it'll be basically the starting lineup for last night. Maybe Valle in for Taylor, but I can't see Brendan putting kind of Engels in before Hatate. He knows what Hatate can provide, and I'm fully admitting Hatate has been off form. I think that's a nice way of putting it. He has been kind of missing the last number of games, but he's still capable of kind of bringing that moment of brilliance, that moment of magic, and I think Brendan sees that. So I'll be interested to see the kind of start line up at the weekend, but I would agree with Brendan if he did drop Hatate, but in my opinion, I still think he will start with Hatate there, and we need a performance for him because we know what he's capable of. He's not been showing his full capabilities over the last number of games, so this is a time that he definitely needs to step up and show what he's capable of.
Yeah, we comment from Toby, lads, for East End Community Radio. He says, I was disappointed last night not to get the win, but realised very quickly it was a massive point gained. We moved on to a massive game this weekend, and for me, which is far more important than last night. Ryan, I'll put that one to you, mate.
I get what Toby's saying, mate. Every game's important, but I get it's a cup final, so I get what you're saying there. I was disappointed last night not to get a victory, considering how Zagreb kind of performed. In the grand scheme of things, listen, it is a good point. It might turn out to be a big point because you might only need a point against young boys, and then if you didn't win last night, then you would probably to beat Aston Villa. So, I can get what Toby's saying there and yourself about Hatate and Allen. I said that. I think it's. I listened to. I can't remember what it was I listened to last night. It was something after the game last night, and people are going to start questioning now because of the European side. Now, see, it's all right getting the ball away against no offence or disrespect to some of these teams, right? But like St Mirren and Aberdeen, even them across the water, the odd time, Hibs, etc., which we've seen at Celtic Park at the weekend there, looking 2-0 down. The quality here might not be good enough to finish the chances, but Zagreb maybe not good enough. But if you do that against probably maybe Leipzig or Bruges, or that, if you do put it this way, if you do that in Aston Villa, they're scoring. Ollie Watkins or the guy Duran scoring, or Morgan Rogers, they're scoring. So
Ross Bartley or John McGinn.
That's what I mean. So if you need to keep the ball in Europe, you need to. We're not good enough not to keep the ball as yet in Europe. We're still got the vulnerability in us where we lose the ball, teams punish you, and McGregor does it sometimes, not just with Hatate, but just on this with Hatate. If Hatate can't keep the ball and his ball retention isn't consistent, he won't be in this team under this manager. He's already said it before. Now, I think he's a brilliant player. But he has one good game, 3 alright games, one good game. And at Celtic, no matter who you are, if you're Henrik Larsson or Rio Hatate, you can't have 3 bad games in a row at Celtic. You can't because it's so inconsistent. But I get it when he's good. But when he's terrible, he's ranked rotten. So it's a balance. It might be the case. I think I said it last week, and I think I say it every single week on here. You only play him certain games. He might be that player where you don't play him away from home. You play him at Celtic Park in Europe. You don't play him away like Maracic and Rogic. You don't play him away because you know that same as Engels at Rugby Park. Don't play him because you've seen he was hopeless on it. Don't play him on it. That sort of thing. Don't know what you find on that, Alan and JP, but he's a cracking player. One of the best we've had in that position in a long time. But you need to keep the ball because if you don't keep the ball, you'll get punished at a higher level.
Well, I'm actually worried.
He's gone for a dip. When you look at the majority of last season, he was consistent last season, right? The last couple of seasons, even under Ange as well. It was massively consistent and probably one of our best players, and that's how he's getting touted about with kind of Premier League moves, etc. Because he is a top quality player. But I totally agree, his performance levels and consistency wise, it has that below where it should be.
See if he's not keep the ball like that, there's no chance he goes down south. Not a chance.
In my opinion, listen, lads, in my opinion, Hatate's a worry for me now. He's a worry how frequently he's losing his ball. And I've said these before, he's going to come a cropper where he's going to actually cost us. Now, Celtic fans have jumped on Liam Scales for making errors. They've jumped on guys like Greg Taylor when they make errors. This shouldn't be any different just because of who he is. He's quality. He's got humongous bags of ability. And he can change a game like that. But the new
I think there's a number of players
He's
over the
going to
last
end up.
3 games.
He's going to change a game the other way. Don't know the way he's gone.
But there's a number of players over the last few games, as we spoke about today, that their performance levels have dipped below what we know they're capable of. You look at kind of Dyson Maida, he's the most kind of reliable guy we've usually got, but I would even say the last few games he's looked kind of a bit off it as well. I don't know if it's the sheer amount of games that we've got that are coming kind of thick and fast.
It's no, apparently
apparently
he ran up to Aberdeen before the team got there on the bus. He ran, so apparently he's feeling the after effects of running back down the road. But
it's felt like even
in terms of my
as well, like, as Callum played, say the last few games, has Callum been playing the way we know he can play? I'm not so sure, but I know there's a lot of games that were played. They are coming thick and fast. They're human beings at the end of the day, but I agree with you that Hatati's been off it, but when we look at the last few games, the performance levels have turned out good results, but has the performance levels been up to the capabilities we've seen Celtic this season? Probably not. We looked at that game at the weekend. I know it was a 3-0 result, but it was kind of Casper Schmeichel man of the match. It wasn't really vintage kind of prime Celtic football.
No,
even the game before that as well.
Our counter-press at the weekend certainly wasn't there, but in terms of our football's been absolutely fine. I mean, we're absolutely fine when we've got the ball. It's just the other side of that, when we don't have the ball and we're then transitioning and trying to get the ball back. The last couple of games, the ferociousness and the intensity that we've counter-pressed teams this season just hasn't been there. And listen, that could be down to the number of changes that's happening as well. It could be down to the amount of chopping and changing we're having to do to get through this batch of games. But in terms of ability-wise, and I think all that's there to see, Alan, definitely, because we're still coming through these games, mate, and we're pretty much unscathed. I mean, we've lost one game all season so far, and that was in the Champions League.
The 3 I spoke about today, in comparison to the performances we've been putting in at the early part of the season, have the last few games been up to that level? Probably not, but they've still been up to a level that we're winning games and getting results. But we'll set a high standard. At the start of this season, the early parts of this season, we were playing at a fantastic level, absolutely sublime football. We set that standard for ourselves. And if we're being honest with ourselves, the last few games, they've been way off that standard was set. And that's a downfall of how well we've done, basically. Because people have seen, the fans have seen how fantastically awesome we've been. And now it's dipped a bit. So I'm hoping this weekend that we can reach the potential we've seen that we're capable of. But it's not really hurt us, as you've said as well. It's still, we're still getting results. We're still doing all right. But
you've got to remember in this. You've got to remember, Alan, in this run of results, we watched a Club Bruce team outplay us in the first half at Celtic Park, and we went a goal down. We then fought back to bring it back to one each and dominate the second half. So
I'm just saying, I get what you're saying in terms of
there's certain elements of games.
See, in comparison to the first part of the season, do you think we've been at that level the last few games? I don't think so.
Spells of our football,
the high standards we've set.
Yeah, but in spells of our football, yes, I do. I think we're still okay with the ball. It's just when we don't have the ball in certain moments, we've been a wee bit erratic here and there. But that's sparingly. That's no. It's no like a constant. It's not happening every time we take to the field. There's just wee element, and that comes with chopping and changing your squad and rotating players in and out.
Oh, I completely get that. It's all they're human beings, right? If they're going to switch up the squad, if they're going to play that amount of games as well, completely get that. But my point is, you're saying we're still keeping up to that level. I've seen it bits and bobs basically the last kind of 4 or 5 weeks. It's only been 10-minute spells here and there. The point was, at the start of the season, the majority of this season, we've kept a high standard, and it's been but 90-95% of the game, the full game, that we've actually kept that standard. In the last few games, we've seen it bits and bobs, dribs and drabs, but we have dropped off a fair bit in comparison to our capabilities. I think that's probably.
Listen, I take your point. I can get your point.
But is it a case of,
is it a case of we've given ourselves that leeway as well that we can actually do that because we're that far ahead?
But as we spoke about earlier, see if we put that performance in against that mob at the weekend, did we win that game? That's another question.
Again, that's another question. No, unless if you put, by the way, if you're getting an answer for that, then I think he's a lot of numbers while you're at it, big man. But
I know, no, it's not ifs and buts, but I would hope at the weekend. That we put in a far better performance than we did last night. I would expect that because of we need more intensity, and I would expect with a cup final, with a game against our rivals, that intensity should be there. That goes without speaking, I think. So.
We comment here for John. He says the biggest worry for Sunday, Ryan, for me, is AJ being fit. What's the issue with him? Well, Brendan, after the game last night, John, I don't know if you're privy to it, but he did say he was fine. He said it was just more precautionary, and there wasn't any major urgency to have AJ on the field, and obviously Ralston was there, and he could have got him off, and with Sunday in mind. So no, I think he's fine. It's not a muscular injury or anything. It was a small twinge to his hip flexor. I think it was a tackle with the two lads singed him, if my memory serves me right. It was off the back of him, trying to turn out of that. And it was just... But I watched Alistair Johnson's interview and he looked fine. He looked absolutely fine. He looked in good spirits, actually. Ryan, obviously, John's comment there about AJ.
I think the manager did say it was just a precaution. His hip flexor, but he didn't say that he was going to be injured or anything for the game at the weekend. But I think it is time now where we do talk about the fullback situation, because take away, well, right now we've no, Greg Taylor is still our player, but in a month, about 3-4 weeks' time, he can talk to anybody without having to tell the club. He can sign a pre-contract, and so then it gets into territory where he's beginning not to be our player. So Alex Valle, will he be here? So, but the lack of quality between Alistair Johnson, and again, I've not played at the level of Anthony Ralston. I can't criticise the guy for where he is at the moment, but the lack of the drop off in quality for Alistair Johnson to Ralston, it's completely night and day. And I know the guy's playing with Scotland, and I know he's still at Celtic, but we're a far weaker team with Anthony Ralston at right back, and we are Alistair Johnson. And for me, how long do we just sit and go, he's been brilliant, see all this about players loving the club and loving the jersey, and that's nonsense, man. See if I'm a Celtic fan, I'd love to play with Celtic, but you get it all because, one, that's your job. Two, you do it for yourself, your family, your teammate. You do it for he loves it. That's the only reason why you play with Celtic. You play with Celtic because you're good enough. And is that and I think we can all say it, in our opinion, is he good enough to play with Celtic every week? No. So that's going to be looked at in January or the summer. We, as Celtic Football Club, with the finances and this amazing network that we've got of players, I get the Scottish quota, I get that part of it, right? But you can't tell me we can't get a bit. Again, it's no disrespect, but for us to improve as a football club, we need better than Anthony Ralston.
What's up with having a wee bit of love, mate? There's nothing. Come on, there's nothing wrong with a wee bit of.
But no, but see all this about he gives his all and loves his club. I would play with Celtic and give him a all. That doesn't mean that I deserve to play with Celtic. You'd be signed
up with Sean Mahoney, man. You'd be presenting hoodies and all that.
But see all this about he loves the club and he'll again, Joe Hart loved him to bits, but again, he loves the club and he pulls his jersey on. I would be doing the same for £18 a week, Joe. Do you know what I mean?
I can't play football, but I'd go on for Celtic and see what they've done. See what they've done, the walk football. I'd go on and just off somebody and then walk back off. I've done my job.
Again, lads, if I'm being harsh, right, tell me, right, but I just think that...
No, you're not being harsh. You're right.
The drop-off in quality is there to be seen. And I'm not going to say that I'll be worried, but if Anthony Ralston's playing on Sunday, I've got a wee bit of fear in me that he's going to make a mistake.
Imagine imagine you had Ralston, Taylor, and Stephen Welsh in your back line.
Oh,
Right,
I'm
that's
a
worrying.
making it bleach
That
you
is
now.
By the
worrying.
way, by the
But
way,
that's what
we'd probably
and
still win the cup on
Scales,
Sunday.
Welsh, Scales, Taylor, and Ralston.
Listen, me went to Ibrox with a back four of Ralston, Laggard, Bielka, Scales,
I
and
know.
Burnaby, and we won 1-0.
Doesn't make it right. Me and Brian
Yes,
being
yes.
Costco tomorrow morning, waiting up for
Can happen.
Domestos
Can
multi-packs.
happen. Can happen.
No, that's...
Well,
I just feel
that
that is
doesn't
another
make it right.
possibility. That
Alistair Johnson again. If he's not playing, we've got a wee sense of worry, right? And the left back situation, I think it's time Alex Valle is playing now. I agree. I said to you today actually about it, and so I know I'm not talking away with the ferries. Simon Doggett said the exact same thing. It was either him or Ross McCormack said the exact same thing. And a fan actually said it on the phone. Him, why is he going away? Obviously, it's the instructions of the manager, but he's away out at right mid. Craig, your left back, son. You can't do that in Europe. You cannot do that because you're
he's
leaving
just trying.
Maeda.
He's just
you're
trying to
leaving
show how
Maeda
versatile he is, mate.
Aye, but JP, you can't leave those spaces on a football park. If you're away in the right mid,
Oh,
you're
no,
then leaving
I know.
Maeda himself. You're leaving then Hattati, Bernardo, McGregor with an extra man in midfield. You can't do that. That's criminal.
I'm
And
trying to
that's
have a wee
gonna
bit.
cost
I'm trying to have a wee bit of humour about that one. But
No, but it
no,
will
it's
cost you.
actually, Alan, as Ryan saying there about Greg Taylor, the last two games, noticeably, especially the game on Saturday, obviously I was there myself, and it was becoming annoying at how many times he wanders out of position. Now again, as Ryan says, it's under instructions of the manager. There needs to be a bit of a tactical implement to it, or at least let somebody know you're doing it, man, and let somebody come over and get somebody in to cover you. But there wasn't any of that, and that was a big problem for us, because for me that left Liam Scales isolated. So fans are slagging Liam Scales, but they're not looking at the bigger picture and going, well, Liam Scales has no option. He's got to jump, because if he doesn't jump, if he doesn't press that space, we're all screaming at him from the stands going, how are you not pressing the ball? So he's in a no-win situation, but he's only in a no-win situation there because Greg Taylor's he's went too high. And he's been doing that the last couple of games.
I don't know what Brendan's saying to him, but he's not saying to him going on to that right corner flag, because that's when he's kicking about. I think it says a lot when we've got Trusty and Valle there. There's no as much kind of opposition boys that are going down that side. We have said this before. When it comes to kind of Scales and Taylor on that side, it seems that the opposition managers, the opposition team, they target that side. And that can't be coincidental. It can't be a coincidence that constantly these teams are actually kind of targeting that side because they think that's their weakness. And as Ryan said earlier about Ralston, we can't criticise because these guys have kind of reached a far higher level than any of us can kind of dream of. So they've done fantastically well. But the likes of kind of Taylor, the likes of Scales, the likes of Ralston, the likes of Welsh, are they really the level that Celtic should be aiming for? Are they really the level that we should be looking to be playing in cup finals, to be playing in Champions League games? I think we should be looking for better than that.
Taylor, I don't know
Brendan's thoughts on that.
Greg Taylor has done remarkably well for this club.
No, there's no doubt about
for
that.
Me, he does not get the credit he deserves.
But
He's been a great servant for Celtic.
Outgrown Greg Taylor. It's the way that Celtic's played this year.
It's the same with every player, Alan, to an extent. Every player has a shelf life with clubs. I'm not too sure if we're at that point with Greg Taylor, because still domestically, mate, he's every bit as good as any of them domestically, and he's still doing his job for us.
He'd be a very good squad player. The same as I think about Liam Scales. I think Liam Scales and Greg Taylor are very good squad players, but when we're starting these kind of players in Champions League games, in cup finals, in important league games, that's where we need to question. Ryan spoke about the drop-off between kind of Alistair Johnston and Tony Ralston. We should be looking for a left-back that the drop-off goes for the same kind of capabilities between Taylor and whoever we bring in. Don't think that's going to be Valle in the long term, but I'm sure we're going to be looking for a kind of long-term replacement for a full, a starting left back.
What was it Brendan says? They're all starters. They're all starters. There's no No first teamers and
He's got to
regulars
say that,
and
but he's not,
subs
he's
and
not
everything
going to
else.
he's not going to bring down any of the players. Not, I mean, he's got to say they're all starters. He's trying to keep a level of morale within the whole squad and within the team. But I think as fans and guys that watch football with our eyes, we can see that there's a clear difference between the likes of kind of Tony Ralston and Arsenal Johnston, between Liam Scales and Cameron Carter-Vickers, or Liam Scales and Austin Trusty. We can see that with our own eyes. We're not blind, so we're looking at kind of Greg Taylor. Is Valle a step up for Greg Taylor? I believe so, even though he's kind of rough around the edges. He's still a young player that's got a lot to learn. He's got a lot of experience to get. But for me at the weekend, I'm pretty sure we should be starting Valle instead of Taylor. I appreciate everything Taylor's done for Celtic. He's been a very good servant, and I think he would remain a very good squad player. But for me, I think Celtic's outgrown that, and we need a level up. We need a step up, and you're seeing kind of Greg Taylor and the likes of Tony Ralston. They're getting exposed. They're getting exposed in these kind of games, and you're seeing the way that Greg Taylor's floating about. You're seeing that we need a step up in quality with regards to these kind of players.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts, folks. Greg Taylor or Alex Valle, who do you prefer? Who would you like to see in the Celtic team? Who do you want to see play next in the next game, which is the Cup final this coming Sunday? Let us know your thoughts. Ryan, obviously something else I want to bring up tonight. We spoke earlier with Barry Barron, as we always like to do. We couple of days check-in with the wee man. And Baz is of the opinion, and I agree with him, Baz is of the opinion that in these games like last night, Adam Ida's got to be starting over Kyogo. He just thinks it's a total waste of time having Kyogo there. He doesn't impact any games. And Baz reckon, the same as myself, as soon as Ida comes on, things start to happen up there in a game like that away from home in Europe for us. So, what's your thoughts on that, mate?
I think in terms of obviously, I'm reading a question. What did you say there? Sorry, reading a question there, and it caught me.
Adam Ida has to start with these games.
We spoke to Barry Barron earlier on, and Baz reckons Adam Ida.
I agree with. I did agree with obviously what Barry was saying, that I did say it's a good shout for Adam Ida to play Europe away from home. I can get that because the wee man didn't get any service, and then he was going deep. He wasn't really in the game yesterday. When Adam Ida came on, they tried to give him a wee bit of. They tried to give him a bit of service. He got one or two balls in the box. See the way I am now. See the merit. Look at Adam Ida, right? I don't think he's got a lot of physicality compared to for his size. I don't think he's using it as much as he probably could. See, like the holding the ball and stuff like that. He does it sometimes, but sometimes it's no great. But he's got different attributes to the wee man. So it all depends on what.
For anybody that's maybe not in the know, he's actually on more goals than Kyogo this season so far. And he's not played anywhere near the same amount of time as Kyogo has either.
The only thing I would say is I think Kyle will play on Sunday. I think that's a guarantee. He loves Hampden. He loves these big occasions. He loves playing against them. I would rather play the wee again. I think the wee man's. It's a game for him personally. He's Lindsay. He's Adam Ida again.
Lindsay, I've been saying that to him for at least 3 years now.
I think he's really challenging Kyogo. Is he?
Still not there.
Spot. I don't think he is.
I don't.
I think we should be expecting more.
Hold on a minute, Mr. Sterling. Hold on a wee minute, Mr. Sterling. Just you wait your turn. I know you're so eager to get in there, but you need to wait your turn.
Lindsay's comment, Captain. You hen.
I don't think as yet he's challenging Kyogo yet. I think Kyogo's Rodgers' main man still. But I can see why Adam Ida could play away in Europe, because he is obviously tall and he is a bit of pace about him. It might spook defenders because he's height and stuff, and you can do with Kyogo, you're more likely playing through the channel, but to Adam Ida, you can put it up to him and whatever and link up the play. So I can get that. I only bleach, Jerry. No, I don't know what you feel, Alan, on that, but I do think that Armida, that's a good shout that to play the games away from home. It could be a shout to play them on that in Aston Villa as well, because they will be a bit physical ways as well. So obviously, but they're very sharp and going forward are very quick. So again, it all depends what the manager feels. But
Guaranteed a penalty at Aston Villa anyway, because Tyrone Mings is a back to for him now.
But I think it could be a shout, Aaron, that for European games, I think the two of them could be used in certain attributes. But for me, in terms of your big games domestically, for me, the wee man's got to play. But we've got the option of having him there. So he didn't on the bench, or Kyle going to bench Aaron. So I think either way, I don't think I've no qualms about who plays, because I know Adam either can get a go on him and the wee man's got a go on him as well. So depending what the manager feels are, and I've not really got a oh, he's playing or he's not playing with the two.
I was just expecting, kind of, obviously, I don't want to get into fees because you spoke about the Engels thing, right? So we'll avoid that right away, right? But I was expecting, I was expecting he did come in and challenge Kyogo for that. I know you're saying every player's a starter, but I think it's clear for everybody to see. Everybody's seeing it. Kyogo is the main man. Kyogo is the main striker. At the start of this season, the end of last season, if Ida was coming in, I was expecting him to maybe push Kyogo a bit more than he actually has. I don't know if I'm being unfair there, but I know what you're saying with Ida scored, but has he really made the impact that we were all kind of expecting? I still think Kyogo's kind of head and shoulders and levels above, no in height obviously, but I think he's still kind of levels above what he does, providing at present. I think you've seen with the finish at Kyogo against Hibs as well. That just kind of highlights how great a player he is. But I was expecting Ida to maybe provide a bit more than he has been at present. There's still time. He is still a young player. Technically, he's just kind of signed and he's just in permanently, so it's just like Engels, we give him a bit of time. But at the minute, I was kind of expecting a wee bit more feed in than we've been seeing at present. I hope that comes in time. But for me, I think any massively important game, I think he'll go 10 times out of 10 will start. I can see the aspect to the kind of like the Villa game, like European games. If it's a hard game away from home that we need to hold the ball up, then there is calls for Ida to be kind of starting games like that.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at cup finals, if you're looking at important games at Celtic Park, important games in the league, for me, it's Kyogo's position, hands down.
Right, I'm going to address this on here because I've been wanting to do this for a wee while in terms of both players, right? I know I keep talking about Ida and I have done for Signways last January. I just think he's got very good attributes and he brings a difference to the Celtic side and a bigger presence, and he's, like I say, he's got different attributes. But I'm going to say this now, and I don't care if this gets clipped and put out there. Kyogo Furuhashi is the best centre forward Celtic have had since Henrik Larsson. It's that simple. The guy is quality. He's done it at every level for us. He does it in every big game for us that we require him to do it in. And he does it when we really need him. And he also comes to the fore at the business end of the season, as I call it, when trophies and medals are getting handed out. So for me, that's why Kyogo qualifies. You look at the touch, Alan touches on it there, folks, the touch and the finish on Saturday, that was Larsson-esque, in my opinion. So for me, Kyogo's a favourite striker I've seen at Celtic since Henrik. He's that type of excitement that he brings. He's got that aura about him as well. And yeah, Johnny, to be fair, mate, Carlton Cole was definitely up there on the list. I had to go with my personal favourite, mate. I know Big Alan. Big Alan is a big fan of Pavel Brozek as well, so I think Big Alan was obviously fun. Yeah. And Ryan himself was a Magic Zaraski fan. Yeah, we were kind of... But for me, Kyogo... I did, Monty. Yes, I did.
We
I
can't
was a
ignore the
Johnny.
wonders of
I was-
Miku as well.
I did see him on I was a Johnny at school, mate. I know I look at young right enough, but I was a Johnny at Biggins' school, so it was no bad. But no, 100% for me. Cheers, James. Thanks very much, mate. James agrees with me that he's best we've had since Henrik.
Right, Ryan's going to say Edward, I'll say Dembele, you'll say Kyogo. Everybody's got a different opinion.
I can no. Listen,
Jerry
see in
Burns.
terms of
Jerry
in terms
Burns
of
is one of the
finish,
most humorous guys on here, isn't he? He said Tony Cascarino.
I think JPI, you have every right to say what you're saying, man. And it is all. It's all about.
Brian, he's done it in every level now. For me, he's done it at Champions League. He's done it in all the levels now. So
I think this is something you could talk about for hours. You could probably sit in a pub with a few beers and just chat about this for hours and talk about goals, guys.
we're going to do that on Sunday, aren't we?
Aye, it's like I thought Hooper could have been there if he stayed a bit longer. Obviously, he wanted to go and play in England and try and get an England call up, which is fair. For me, Hooper was different gravy.
I'm really disappointed in you, mate. I thought your first go-to guy would have been Johan Gaberget, sir.
I'm not finished yet. But in terms of, it's weird, right, to explain this, but see when Kyle gets the ball, as much as he's terrific, man, his movement, his finishing, I can't question anything about the wee guy. But see when he gets the ball, I still don't think go and do something. He's got to do something. But when for some reason, when Edward get the ball, I get off my seat. On you go, son. I was like, on you go. Go and take him on. He's just that wee bit of class. I know Edward's not done well since. He's done, I think he's scored maybe 15 goals at Palace. He's not done well at the rest of the long run. I get that. But you can only judge him on Celtic and apparently down tools. And he's still scored over 20 goals in one of the worst seasons in history. So the guy didn't down tools that much. So
by the way, he's down tools now.
He's
certainly down tools now.
I think this is all about preference and who you've seen. And listen, people all say Dembele, Edward. People might say Hooper. Some guys might even say Griffiths. Some guys might even say Griffiths because he's so. But for me, Edward had. Edward just had that wee bit of class that got me off my seat, and I was like, when you go and do something. Again, I think it's just my preference, lads.
No, listen, we've all got that's the thing. We've all got. I mean, I'm lucky to see every one of them, and Henrik himself. But Henrik's still. I mean, he's still the main man. I mean, he's the greatest striker I've ever seen at Celtic. That's for sure. But Kyogo's the closest we've had to that ability, that game winning ability that can just turn the game on its head. Before you know it, he doesn't even need to win the game for 80 minutes, but before you know it, he scored 2 goals. Celtic won 2-1. That's the difference. And guys like that are very, very hard to find. They only come along once every 20 odd year. You know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying. Kyogo's legacy will be remembered probably forever by the time he leaves Celtic. You look at the cup final against Hibs, Ryan. The lob with a goal. I mean, to even play that out in your head and then go and do it physically, it's mental. To have the raw ability to just go and do it. Look at his goal against Rangers at Celtic Park last season, the 2-1 game, the one Bernardo scored. Frightening. Moments of quality. And, I mean, more so than no, he turns up against that mob every time. He scored at Ibrox as well. When we've had no fans in, and nothing seems to faze a wee guy at all. He gets kicked high, he just gets up and gets on with it. He runs by defenders and goes, you can't catch me.
I know we've all spoken about it, and I know it's our culture, but see all this, moan up, son, leave him, man, just go away, leave him alone.
No, I kind of like that.
Mine just walks away with a wee
he walks away, he's been jumping a bit. He's been jumping about with the Postal young team now.
When I played football, I wasn't about sports.
I think that's good, Uber.
Where you go, son? Get yourself up. I'll away. See you later.
No, I know. Listen, I get that. But as I say, it's. I think it's something different. Especially when you see them Tuesday mornings, not the other West End chasing Pokemons. It's brilliant, man. They've brought a new lease of life to Glasgow, I think. I think it's brilliant. you used to see the fitness suit in a lot of them. The most fittest was Gucci. He wasn't playing football, so he was just running up and down by his road all day long, which was magic. You know, he wasn't even close behind him was Iwata and Kobayashi.
I actually felt for Gucci because he wasn't even bad. He was just never fit. He wasn't a bad. I don't think we can really judge him and say he was bad because
No, I don't think so.
Quan's better. He's playing for Hibs all the time. We get a 40 a week job in Subway.
See, the thing is as well, Alan. See, I know we're having a wee chuckle there, right? See, the thing is as well, the Hibs actually want to keep him. They actually want to sign him permanently.
Yeah,
they've inquired about it already, as far as I'm led to believe.
No, David Gray's right to keep him.
I think that's his level, JP. I don't think he'll make it to Celtic.
Quan?
I think that's his level, mate. He's done decent in certain games I've seen, but I don't know what Alan feels on Quan. But I did actually think for the game I've seen him against Wolves, I thought, wow, yeah, this boy's going to be good, man. And that's the one player that I've went, right, I've maybe said too early, because I did say, wow, he could potentially be brilliant for us. And then it's just no work done well. St Mirren's with the Hibs, he's done okay, but I know Alan made a laugh a joke about on here, but I think in a serious matter, Quan's decent for Hibs. I think when he gets to us, I don't think he even gets on the bench, mate, personally.
Yeah, I agree, Ryan. I think he's took the big leap to come here in the first place. Yeah, I agree with that as well. I was actually speaking to Big Barry McCandless, who also contributes to the channel. Yeah, I made an early prediction. Yeah, I made an early prediction, and sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong, and that one I get it wrong, and I'll hold my hands up and I'll say I've got up to now I've massively got that one wrong. But I agree with Paradise Celts. I actually had a chat today with Big Barry McCandless, who contributes to the channel, folks, and we chatted about this as well. And I actually, a wee bit of me is disappointed in it, because I thought his directness and everything else might have made a difference. Paradise Celts also thinks that Yang might have made a difference last night, you know, in terms of his running ability. My dad actually had this chat with me last night after the game as well. He thought Yang would have been a sub to bring on, Ryan, in terms of that directness he showed in the last wee spurts and the games that he's played in, taking the ball to the defender and really try to create openings. And obviously he nearly scored at the weekend and set up a goal at the weekend. So yeah, as I say, I was a wee bit of me's disappointed in that, because I thought maybe taking Nicholas Kuhn off and bringing Yang on to have a go at the fullback, something different.
I can get it, because he's done okay since he's come on. I actually agree with Simon Donnelly. It's either lost my comment or Simon Donnelly, and they actually said it's actually like guys like Yang or Forrest.
Look at the comment.
I know. Guys like Yang, if it's Yang, McKibben, Bernard, whoever it is, it's so much easier coming on to a game as an attacker to go win the game than it is a defender. So it's easier for Yang to come on and try and make.
That's not a consolation to. That's not a consolation to the individual, because he's got to come on and actually do the duty.
I can get what you're saying, JP, because he's done okay recently, but I still don't think he's at the level that we want to make for us to go forward. I get he's probably going to be a squad player. The manager obviously sees something because he's kept him on the squad and he's kept him. Maybe he's going to be a late bloomer. I don't know, but I've seen enough of Yang in certain bits where been offside and not along the line and just silly things that I'm like, that's not the level that I think it should be at this football club. I could be wrong, and it could be amazing next year or the next 6 months, and it could be a fantastic signing. But I just feel we need. I think we talk about drop-offs. The James Forrest can come in and contribute. He's no drop-off too much for Kuhn and Maeda, but take away the three, I think the drop-off's quite clear for Yang and Palmer, and I think that's it, isn't it? 5 hours.
I think it's like Tony Ralston we were talking about earlier between him and AJ. When you're looking at Yang, I get where you're coming from, JP, because Yang has improved from where he was maybe this time last year. He has come on and he's done no bad, but when you're looking at the quality difference between Maeda, Kuhl, and then you're dropping down to Palmer and Yang, And
I think
that's
it's just
a
his,
big,
I think
big
it's
trap.
just his pace, Alan, that I'm more impressed with his running ability now, because in terms of his upper body and his physicality, you can tell that even coming on at Tynecastle, you could see it's changed. And
It's hard to judge just now,
obviously
right? When
Brendan
he's not playing.
he must be working with him, because
Aye. It's
something's
hard to
happening.
judge. It's hard to judge just now because he's not playing consistently. But just a question for you, JP: would you be happy if Kuhn dropped out the team and Yang was playing kind of week in, week out? Because I don't think I would be in comparison
At
to
first,
Kuhn.
no. Well, definitely at first, you would kind of be, you would have that element of doubt and kind of fear. No fear, but that's probably a wrong word to use.
No, it's fear.
You know,
I would.
you wouldn't fear it, but you would have that element of doubt. But for me, I'm sorry, you've got to recognise positivity when you see it. In the last wee while, you look at that, like, go back to the Leipzig game when he comes on in that, the quality level didn't drop. If anything, we actually became more intense when he came on the pitch. I mean, go and watch it back. I mean, don't take my word for it. Go and see it and you'll see it for yourself.
I'm not so
And
sure.
he's contributing. For me, he came on, what was the next game he came on after that? Even on Saturday. I thought he was unplayable on Saturday when he came on against Hibs. Boy, Miller was, devastated at one point, not knowing where he was going. Having that challenge to try and tackle with Maeda and the pace of Maeda, and then the directness and the you look at him at Tynecastle, the one he puts a great ball into the box, and the boy actually puts him into the boards, and he could have hurted himself really badly. But yeah, for me, Yang's a different type of winger for the other lads as well. That's the thing about our wingers, they're all different. They all do something really, really different. They all carry the ball differently, and they all do things differently with the ball. But one thing they don't drift away from, and I've noticed it even more so recently with Yang, like you say, Alan, he's changed for a year ago, is his running ability. When he's not getting the ball, he's even chasing the, look at him against Hibs at the weekend, right? He's chasing that boy right back into left back. And, okay, he shoulders the boy and the boy falls, but he's letting the boy know he's there. A year ago, Ryan, he wasn't doing that, mate. He was letting the guy just run by him and just giving in. So there's
He's
that.
improved, but you're looking at the wingers we've had.
Alan.
Right, you're looking at the wingers we've had over the last couple of years. We've now got Maeda and Kuhl. We had Abada and Jota. Is Yang anywhere near the level of the four players? For me, I don't think so.
Not now.
And
Not
that's
right
what we
now.
need to judge
He's not.
against.
Yeah, not right now. He's not. But does he have the potential to possibly get there? I think there's a player in Young. I really, really do. Now, everybody's entitled to their opinions and everything else, but I've had this conversation. I've had this conversation with many, and I think there's a player in Young. There's definitely. Listen, he's there, so the manager must be working with him, because it would have been very easy in the summer just to loan him out. Now, for me, out of the two, right now it looks like Palmer's probably on his road out the door before anywhere near Yang is. And that's where Yang's came from, because this time last year, most Celtic fans would have probably said Palmer was ahead of Yang, including myself even. So, football's a funny game. It changes so quickly.
I try my best to give players a chance and support them, but there's only so much I can go. Game time. He's been here about 2 years by the end of this season. So if you're not getting in the Celtic team by 2 years, when are you going to get in? It's the same conversation with Mikey Johnson. How long does it take to Mikey Johnson or the club to go, right? It's time to pastures new. You've no major. You have your break fully yet. You're running out of team. You can't keep fit. When's it time to move on? I think there's something in me, young JP, but whether or not it's good enough for Celtic, time will tell. I don't think so personally. I think he's not going to. I don't think he's going to get the game time to prove it. I don't think he's going to get the game time to really show us, because he's only getting 10 minutes here and there, and we've all played football. To come off the bench and get 10 minutes, the only thing you can really do to really get yourself in that team is maybe score a goal or create a chance. And 9 times out of 10 in 10 minutes on a park, can you do that? No, really, mate, no.
You can't, Ryan. I know what Alan's saying, and we've spoke even off this. It definitely is a position in the field I think Rodgers will address in the next window. if he's not already doing so just now in that process. Listen, whatever process Rodgers is doing, that's underway. You can make your boots right now. That's what's happening. But yeah, as an area of the field, we definitely need reinforcements. Obviously, we can talk about that near the time, lads. Overall, just to summarise, Alan, decent point for the Hoops last night. I know we're a wee bit up with the fact that looking at the game back now, we're all saying Celtic should have won the game, right? But we were up against a team that sat in very dogged. They tried to make it hard for us. They tried to kick us. They got in our faces. They made a lot of fouls, but there was some fouls that they done, in my opinion. You know, Greg Taylor was booked for very minimal compared to some of the tackles I seen last night and just the way the game was panning out. So, overall, mate, great start to the season for us. 9 points from 6 games. We've only lost 1. The one game we have lost was in the Champions League, and albeit it was a heavy defeat. But after that, man, the results have been fairly decent, and it looks like this group are learning and on the right path.
Oh, definitely. We need to take some kind of positivity. Obviously, we look at the start of the season as a whole, in all competitions, basically, domestic and European. We have performed at a reasonably high level. You're seeing with the places we are and the amount of points we've taken for the new format of the Champions League. You're seeing how far ahead we are in the domestic league. We're in a domestic cup final. So the positivity comes from there that we have played exceptionally well so far this season. I think knowing how well we can play, I think that's probably the frustration for last night. That's how maybe people are feeling a bit downbeat, because they seen that as maybe an opportunity spurned. They seen that as an opportunity. We could have maybe got that away win that we've all been kind of hoping
This
for
is the
in the
day.
Champions League.
This is the day.
So I think
We're going to
if we're all
get
being
it. We're
honest,
going to we will get it. We will.
but I think that's probably the best opportunity we'll have in a long time, because that was there for the take. But we need to step back a wee bit, looking at the kind of perspective as well, that we have done kind of exceptionally well so far this season. Last night was the ideal. It's 90 odd minutes that none of us will ever get back in my life again, because it was an utter bore fest. But at the end of the day, you look at how well we're doing this season in every front, and we can only look at that in a positive light. So it wasn't the best to watch last night, but you take a step back and you look at it as a whole, and Celtic are doing exceptionally well.
Yes, Ryan. So far, wee man, season going good for us. What's your thoughts?
Overall, mate, we can't have any complaints really, apart from the Dortmund game, which was.
How have you not get big? By the way, how have you not get big Scalesy on the pod tonight, man? Is he not there? Do you know anything with tonight?
No, he's
So you didn't want him on?
no, he's in his bed, mate. A bit of jet lag for Croatia. So
Bit of
he's in his
jet lag.
bed, mate, so
Nice one.
a bit of calmness. He's called for last night, so no, I think
He's still giving me monkey nuts for Halloween. You got?
I'm a covered with his bleach spray, but he comes back next time.
Sitting in there playing all that clicking noise that people can hear is him just playing these conkers.
I'm actually playing these nuts. No, listen, I don't think as a fan base we can really have any complaints about the season overall. Take away Dortmund. Bits and bobs. You can see maybe in Europe we've rode our luck a wee tiny bit, but look, sometimes you need to ride your luck. It's just, I'd rather ride my luck than get results. And because 9 times out of 10, any shots that used to deflect off defenders used to go in, and now they're going away, and normally that's a goal against us. So maybe, hopefully, that's things are changing now. I do feel no matter what happens in Europe this year, another year next year, hopefully qualifying, if you do qualify to qualifiers under this manager, you've got I think as a fan base you have a bit more, no expectation, but a bit more kind of, you'll know where you're more standing next year with this manager and this group of players, and you'll know get away from home, but you've got a chance against something. So no, listen, we've got a massive few days now of recovery for players, training and But I do think we need to lift our levels for Sunday. I think they will, but I don't want the fan base to get into this thinking that I know we've won. I don't think they've beat us in 13 games or something, which is amazing. But this is a cup final. Anything can happen. It could be a decision. It could be a pass back. It could be anything at all that no doesn't win the game. But if we turn up, you win. But it's a massive game at weekend, and first chance to get a trophy in the bag, and it could be a successful season from there.
100%. And as Ryan says, Sunday's game will be previewed on Friday with the panel. And Barry Bannon and William Glavin are going to be joining us for that one as well. That'll be nice and juicy, Ryan. That'll be better than your off 10 show at the weekend, me man. That'll be better. That'll be better.
He's got John Beaton in the basement now, isn't he?
John Beaton's in there. John Beaton and Nick Walsh are playing drafts now.
So after the pod, the fivers are going to the half 10 show, are we? Oh,
that's it, mate. We're all going live. It's a double date. It's a double date. We're all 5, but we'll just call ourselves 5. That's it. We'll just be the new up and coming. Keep on moving. We'll call our slogan. Keep on moving.
Frisky 5.
That's it. You're getting down, baby. I want it now.
There'll be a new section added. There'll be a new section added to the subscribers.
There'll be a free membership for everybody that wants to plug the button first.
Oh, but like Zorro will be sword fighting. Too much.
Storing my spandex on sword fighting.
But no, I'm actually looking forward to Friday. It'll be a good podcast with William Baz, and it's obviously good to have William. William obviously, I'm guessing he's going to do a wee bit of tactical stuff and obviously with Rangers and stuff, which is going to be good. And again, I think I'd like to say we're pretty privileged to have guys with that knowledge and the level of understanding of football, and it's not something you get to hear pretty regularly, JP. So again, I know we know about Rangers, but to hear it from guys at a professional level and guys who've been involved in it for years, it gives a different spin. And listen, anytime we speak to William and Baz, we always take a different outlook. So there could be something about the games and finals that we go, oh, that's a good point, or a certain player might play, that's a good point. So looking forward to it. I hope the viewers will tune in and put their questions to Baz and William as well.
Yeah, 100%, guys. And for the first time in ever, I think, actually, there will be 5 of us on the panel on Friday. So it will be an interesting...
Down, baby.
That's it. There will be 5 of us. So for the first time ever, I think... I'm right, Ryan, isn't it? It's the first time I've ever done it like that.
In public.
Jesus.
Well, it's the first time it's ever going to be streamed live. Should I say? We'll give us one a wee trial first and see how we go. Here's hoping we get a few.
I tried before you buy.
Here's hoping we get a few clicks in the right direction. This guys will say is one of them.
Just watch the description on YouTube when you say 5 guys, not me. Aye.
That's going to be the heading for the title. 5 guys called Mo.
Oh man.
5 guys. I'm at Boz. I've beat the pundit. Brilliant. Here we go. We're going to have a party. But yes, I know. We got into trouble up for that last time, didn't we? That's right, remember? We need to watch that one. But thank you very much, folks, for joining in, and thanks for the comments. As always, we're sorry we can't get everybody's comment up, but we've tried our best to get the majority of these in tonight. We are also sorry that we've not been able to stream live on Facebook for you tonight as well. If you're watching, if you've had to come over for Facebook and on tonight, I did try and put up a post regarding it, but there's a technical problem with Facebook tonight for some reason. We got a lovely wee message before we logged into this platform tonight. So, unfortunately, we've not been able to put it out on Facebook, but quite a lot of you have managed to tune in tonight anyway, so I'm happy about that. If you even want to watch the show back, you can. If you are new to the channel, guys, I did see some new comments from folk I didn't recognise. Please hit the like and subscribe. It's totally free. It allows you to join the family, join in the fun. We've got some festive fun coming as well. That'll be good as well for you. Stay tuned for that. We'll keep you all posted. Don't worry about that. But for the time being, a massive hail See you again. Hail, hail.
Here we go.
And we look forward to chatting with you all again on Friday, guys. Take care.
Right,
Bye-bye.
take
Yeah.
care.